before I caught up with the potential witness, an itinerant handyman, sometime carpenter named Darren Shea, whom she wanted me to talk to. He was a man of indeterminate age, race, and origin who spoke with a New England drawl as untraceable as the rest of him. By the time I was done talking to him, I wished I hadn't started. He seemed to say little of value, but took plenty of time to do it, his slow, molasses voice wandering off the subject in long, meandering asides, as difficult to break through as a wall. We stood on the deck of the Log Cabin Lodge, the main building of the Log Cabin Resort where he was working for the day, on the Piedmont end of the lake. Though I should have been paying more attention, his speech was so boring that I found my attention wandering out to the cold expanse of Lake Crescent as it lay behind him, struck with orange and pink by the fugitive sunset cutting through clouds above, and illuminated from below by hints of the Gray's power grid in the depths of the dark, clear waters. I listened to him with half an ear, taking notes while watching something burble out of the lake near the western shore. Something dead white and man-shaped that seemed to slog ashore with the reluctant, spastic movement of a creature yanked forward on an invisible rope. I thought I saw a second figure on the shore, beckoning and calling in a voice that seemed to pluck the strings of the gray and send a tingling electric sensation over my skin. But I couldn't be sure. I started to peer sideways at the strange scene, looking by force of habit for the eerie, and hearing the hum and rattle of the grid swell as I did, but Shea waved a hand in front of my face. "Hey there, you listening to me?" he asked. "Of course, Mr. Shea," I replied, reminding myself that I wasn't here in search of ghosts, but of reliable testimony for Nan's case, not that I was feeling positive about Shea's reliability by then. I pushed my attention to the gray back and focused on the handyman instead. It was cold and dusk was descending fast by the time I was done with him. The ghosts around the shore began showing themselves as silver mist that moved in human shapes, and the sound of wind that breathed icy words. The uncanny queerness of the place made me anxious to get home, or at least down into the flatland and streetlights before full-on darkness hit, with the hope that I could let the strangeness lie for once. Of course, that's not the way my job works. The road on the northeastern shore of Lake Crescent was narrow, twisting, and prone to dive down suddenly into unexpected gullies and through shadows of ghostlight. But even without the disturbing persistence of the gray, the route was treacherous. Deep shade beneath the cedars and firs harbored dirty piles of snow between icy patches of bare ground and slicks of black ice on the asphalt surface of the road, so spotting a car rammed up against a tree beside the tarmac didn't even seem unlikely. The flames coming from under the hood didn't look quite right, but when a normal person sees someone struggling to exit a burning car, his first thought is not, "It's just a ghost," but something a bit more visceral, like, "Holy shit," which was exactly what went through my own mind. So I steered my Land Rover onto the frozen loam at the roadside and bailed out of the front seat to run for the other driver's door and wrench it open. But my hands passed through the flame-flickering material of the Subaru Forester with only a phantom sensation of heat, while someone else's terror and pain washed over me. I flinched back from the melting face that stared from behind the unreal glass, and then I backed away. Was it my own fear I felt, or his? The ghost wafted out of the memory of his fiery death, following me, mouthing words without sound and bringing along the odor of searing flesh and melting rubber, hot steel, and burning cedar. I retched at the smell. I couldn't fall back any farther without standing on the road, so I put up my hands as if I could hold the smoldering specter at bay with the gesture alone. The ghost stopped, just touching my outturned palms. A sparkle of gold and a flicker of gray bent